Mourners line the street, numbering in the thousands. Diana touched the lives of so many in her 36 years, and people of all backgrounds take her loss heavily.
In a stunning development that has sent shockwaves through royal circles, Queen Camilla has reportedly made the unprecedented decision to directly challenge the late Queen Elizabeth's final wishes regarding Princess Diana's legacy. This shocking move has united Diana's sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, in outrage despite their ongoing estrangement. Palace insiders reveal that both princes are furious at their stepmother's actions, creating a family crisis that threatens to undermine King Charles's efforts to project stability in his reign. What exactly has Camilla done that has so angered Diana's sons, and why would she risk such a controversial stance? The royal directive ignored. According to sources with direct knowledge of the situation, before her death, Queen Elizabeth left specific instructions regarding several royal residences, collections, and heirlooms that had connections to Princess Diana. These instructions included provisions for preserving Diana's personal effects, maintaining certain memorials, and ensuring her grandchildren would have access to items that belonged to their mother. The late Queen was extremely thorough in her planning, revealed one former palace official. She understood that Diana's legacy remained a sensitive topic and wanted to ensure everything was handled with appropriate respect after her passing. Among these directives was the stipulation that Diana's former apartments at Kensington Palace would be preserved in their historical context, with certain rooms maintained as they were during her residence there. Additionally, specific jewelry pieces that had been worn by Diana and returned to the royal collection were to be reserved for use by Kate, Princess of Wales, and eventually, Princess Charlotte. However, palace insiders claim that Camilla has systematically begun dismantling these arrangements, beginning with the redecoration of spaces in Kensington Palace that were specifically covered by Elizabeth's directives. Camilla has made it clear she wants a clean slate, said one royal household source. She's instructed staff to refresh areas that were explicitly meant to be preserved, and has begun using jewelry pieces that were designated for Kate and Charlotte. William's measured fury. For Prince William, this situation represents a particularly difficult challenge. As heir to the throne, he's been careful to maintain public unity with his father and Camilla, while privately harboring strong feelings about his mother's legacy and how it should be honored. William is absolutely livid, but he's trapped in an impossible position, claimed one source close to the Prince of Wales. He can't publicly criticize the king's wife without creating a constitutional problem. But he views Camilla's actions as a direct attack on his mother's memory. According to multiple sources, William has attempted to address the issue through proper channels, requesting formal meetings with his father to discuss what he views as violations of his grandmother's wishes. These meetings have reportedly been tense, with Charles caught between loyalty to his wife and understanding his son's perspective. Most concerning to William, according to those familiar with his thinking, is what he perceives as Camilla's attempt to gradually erase Diana's presence from royal history. He allegedly told a close confidant, "First it's redecorating rooms, then it's wearing her jewelry. Soon it will be as if my mother never existed in these spaces at all." William's staff has reportedly been instructed to carefully document all changes being made that contradict Elizabeth's wishes, creating what one insider described as an accounting of grievances that may eventually require intervention from the Privy Council if the situation continues to deteriorate. Harry's public outrage. While William's response has been measured by his position and proximity, Prince Harry has reportedly been far more direct in his objections. From his home in California, Harry has allegedly sent a strongly worded private letter to both his father and Camilla expressing his disgust at what he views as disrespect, not only to his mother, but also to his grandmother's final wishes. Harry isn't constrained by the same considerations as William, explained one source familiar with both brothers. He's made it clear that if Camilla continues down this path, he's prepared to make the entire situation public, including specific details about Queen Elizabeth's directives. This threat of public exposure is particularly concerning to palace officials, who fear that Harry could use his media connections and platform to create another royal crisis, just as Charles has begun to stabilize his reign. The specific mention of Queen Elizabeth's wishes adds another dimension, as the late monarch remains deeply revered by the British public. According to those close to Harry, he views this situation as validation of concerns he has expressed for years about Camilla's influence and intentions. One friend reported that Harry said, "This is exactly what I warned everyone about. The moment she had the power, she began using it to erase my mother. It's vindication in the worst possible way." The items in dispute. At the center of this royal conflict are several specific items and spaces that hold deep significance in Diana's story. Palace sources have identified several key points of contention. Diana's former apartment at Kensington Palace, which Camilla has allegedly begun modernizing, despite directives that certain rooms be preserved in their historical state. The Spencer tiara, which Diana wore on her wedding day. Though technically owned by the Spencer family, arrangements had been made for it to be displayed in a royal collection dedicated to Diana's memory. A collection of sapphire jewelry that matched Diana's famous engagement ring, now worn by Kate. Queen Elizabeth had designated these pieces for Charlotte when she comes of age. Personal correspondence between Diana and Queen Elizabeth, which was to remain sealed until William and Harry mutually agreed to its release. Camilla has reportedly requested access to these letters. A suite at Sandringham that Diana had decorated and used when the family spent Christmas there, which Camilla has allegedly converted into a new space for her own grandchildren. These might seem like small things to outsiders, but they represent physical connections to Diana that her sons value deeply, explained one former royal household member. By changing or claiming these spaces and items, Camilla is effectively overwriting Diana's presence in royal history. Charles caught in the middle for King Charles. This situation represents a painful dilemma that forces him to choose between his wife and his sons. Sources close to the monarch describe him as deeply distressed by the conflict, particularly as it involves honoring the wishes of his late mother, while also supporting his current wife. Charles genuinely wants to heal his family, but he's caught between irreconcilable positions, said one longtime royal advisor. Camilla feels she has earned the right to establish herself fully as queen without Diana's shadow constantly looming, while William and Harry feel their mother's memory is being deliberately diminished. The king has reportedly attempted to broker a compromise, suggesting that certain items and spaces could be preserved as Elizabeth wished, while others could be updated or repurposed. However, this middle ground approach has satisfied neither side, with Camilla reportedly insisting on her prerogatives as queen and the princes standing firm on respecting their grandmother's explicit wishes. Most concerning for Charles is how this conflict might affect his relationship with William, whose support is essential for the stability of the monarchy. One source claimed to have overheard William telling his father, "You're putting me in an impossible position. I cannot and will not stand by while my mother's memory is erased from our family history." The Queen's detailed instructions. What makes this situation particularly problematic is the reportedly explicit nature of Queen Elizabeth's instructions. According to those familiar with the documents, Elizabeth left detailed guidance rather than vague suggestions, having anticipated potential tensions over Diana's legacy. The late Queen was extremely precise in her directives, explained one former palace official. She specified exactly which items were to be preserved, which spaces were to be maintained, and how Diana should be represented in family histories and exhibitions. There's very little room for interpretation. Elizabeth's foresight on this matter reflects her deep understanding of the complexities surrounding Diana's place in royal history. Having witnessed the public and private aftermath of Diana's death and the complicated integration of Camilla into the royal family, the late Queen apparently sought to establish clear boundaries that would prevent exactly the type of conflict currently unfolding. Most significantly, Elizabeth allegedly included a personal letter to Charles, emphasizing the importance of honoring these wishes as part of maintaining public trust in the monarchy. According to those who have seen this letter, Elizabeth specifically noted that respecting Diana's legacy was essential for William and Harry's continued support of the institution. The United Brothers. Perhaps the most remarkable aspect of this royal drama is how it has temporarily bridged the well-documented rift between William and Harry. Sources close to both princes report that they have been in regular contact regarding Camilla's actions, setting aside their other differences to present a unified front on this specific issue. Diana remains the one thing that can still unite them instantly, observed one longtime family friend. Whatever their disagreements about everything else They are absolutely aligned when it comes to protecting their mother's memory and legacy. This unexpected alliance has reportedly taken the palace by surprise, as officials had become accustomed to managing William and Harry as separate entities with different concerns. The prospect of them working in tandem on this issue presents a formidable challenge to Camilla's position, and Charles's attempt to balance competing interests. According to one source, William and Harry recently held a video call specifically to coordinate their response to Camilla's actions. While they continue to differ on many issues, including Harry's public criticisms of the institution, they have agreed to stand together in insisting that Queen Elizabeth's wishes regarding their mother be honored without compromise. Public perception at stake. Beyond the personal dimensions of this conflict lies the broader question of public perception. Royal analysts note that Diana remains an enormously popular figure in public memory, while Camilla has worked for decades to overcome initial public resistance to her relationship with Charles and her eventual position as queen. This is potentially disastrous from a public relations perspective, noted one royal commentator. If the public perceives Camilla as disrespecting Diana's memory or overriding Queen Elizabeth's wishes, it could undo years of careful image rehabilitation. Early indications suggest the public is largely sympathetic to William and Harry's position. Social media reactions to rumors of the dispute have been overwhelmingly supportive of Diana's sons, with many commenters expressing dismay at what they view as Camilla's overreach. For a monarchy still adjusting to the transition from Elizabeth's 70-year reign to Charles's leadership, this family conflict represents a significant challenge to the narrative of stability and continuity that palace officials have been carefully constructing.
If you look at the coronation footage as the king and queen leave the thrones and head for the exit of Westminster Abbey on the coronation Saturday, you'll see that everyone bows and curtsies to the king, and no one moves a limb, a muscle, when Camilla passes. And that was because they were angry with Camilla. Camilla brought 20 Parker Bowleses to the coronation. There were 4 Middletons. All the people that helped Camilla get the crown on her head were excluded from that coronation, and they were furious. And not only that, Kate and William were angry too. And that anger, of course, Harry was angry, that anger went right through that small part of the congregation by the throne, by the centre of Westminster Abbey.
Princess Kate's refusal to curtsy to Queen Camilla during a recent public event has become a focal point of royal watchers and media alike, triggering a wave of speculation about what might be going on behind the closed doors of the British royal family. This incident, while seemingly minor, has brought to light the complexities of royal protocol, the relationships between senior royals, and the public's fascination with even the smallest gestures within the monarchy. For centuries, the British royal family has been steeped in tradition, with every move, gesture, and word often carrying significant weight. The act of curtsying in particular is more than just a polite gesture. It is a deeply symbolic act of respect and acknowledgement of rank within the royal hierarchy. The sight of Princess Kate, the wife of the future king, choosing not to curtsy to the current queen consort, was therefore a moment loaded with potential meaning. Observers at the event noted that as the royal family gathered, there was a palpable tension in the air. All eyes were on Kate as she approached Queen Camilla. Traditionally, as the Princess of Wales, Kate would be expected to show deference to Camilla, who, as queen consort, holds a higher rank. However, instead of the customary curtsy, Kate merely nodded politely before continuing on her way. The deviation from protocol was subtle, but in the world of royalty, where every gesture is scrutinized, it was enough to set off a flurry of rumors and discussions. Some insiders suggest that Kate's decision may have been influenced by a series of recent events that have strained her relationship with Camilla. It's no secret that the royal family has faced numerous challenges over the years, from the death of Princess Diana to the ongoing struggles with public perception and the media. These challenges have, at times, created rifts between different members of the family, and it's possible that these tensions are now playing out in public view. One potential source of tension could be the differing approaches Kate and Camilla have taken toward their royal duties. Kate, known for her modern approach and emphasis on mental health and children's issues, has become a beloved figure in the UK and beyond. Her calm demeanor and dedication to her role have won her widespread praise, particularly among the younger generation of royal watchers. On the other hand, Camilla's journey to becoming Queen Consort has been fraught with challenges, including her long and controversial relationship with King Charles, which was initially met with public skepticism. Over time, Camilla has worked hard to carve out her own role within the monarchy, focusing on issues such as domestic violence and literacy. Despite their different approaches, both women are united by their commitment to the monarchy and their families. However, the recent incident suggests that there may be underlying differences in how they view their roles and each other. Some sources close to the royal family have hinted that there may have been disagreements over how certain royal duties should be handled or how public appearances should be managed, leading to a build-up of tension that finally surfaced in this public moment. This isn't the first time that the British royal family has found itself at the center of public scrutiny due to interpersonal dynamics. The relationship between Queen Elizabeth II and Princess Diana, for example, was often portrayed as complex, with Diana's popularity and modern approach sometimes clashing with the traditionalism of the monarchy. Similarly, the relationship between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and the rest of the royal family has been a source of intense media interest and public debate, particularly after the couple's decision to step back from their royal duties and the subsequent revelations about their experiences within the family. In many ways, the monarchy's public image is shaped as much by these personal relationships as by official duties and public engagements. The British public, and indeed people around the world, have a deep fascination with the royal family, viewing them not just as leaders, but as symbols of continuity, tradition, and national identity. As such, any sign of discord or deviation from the norm within the family is often magnified, leading to intense speculation and debate. The incident involving Kate and Camilla has also highlighted the challenges that come with navigating the complex world of royal protocol. While the rules and traditions of the monarchy are designed to maintain order and respect, they can also be a source of tension, particularly when personal feelings come into play. In this case, Kate's decision not to curtsy may have been a way of asserting her own identity and independence within the rigid structure of the royal family. The British royal family, with all its grandeur and tradition, is often seen as a symbol of continuity and stability in a rapidly changing world. Yet incidents like the one involving Princess Kate and Queen Camilla reveal the human side of this storied institution, where personal relationships and emotions intersect with the demands of duty and protocol. The refusal to curtsy might seem like a small act, but in the context of royal life, it carries significant weight, shedding light on the complexities and challenges that come with being part of such a unique and scrutinized family. As the public and media continue to speculate on the meaning behind this moment, it serves as a reminder that the royals, despite their elevated status, are not immune to the intricacies of personal dynamics. The balance between upholding tradition and navigating modern relationships is a delicate one, and this incident underscores the ongoing evolution of the monarchy as it seeks to remain relevant in the 21st century. In the coming years, as Kate and other younger royals take on more prominent roles, moments like these will likely shape how they are perceived both within the family and by the public? Will they adhere strictly to tradition, or will they seek to redefine their roles in a way that reflects their own values and the changing expectations of society? The answer to this question will play a crucial role in determining the future of the monarchy. For now, this incident stands as a moment of reflection, not just for the royal family, but for all who follow their story. It highlights the ongoing tension between personal feelings and public expectations, a theme that has run through the history of the British monarchy. As the world watches how this situation unfolds, it will be interesting to see how the royal family navigates this latest challenge and what it reveals about the future direction of the institution. Ultimately, the story of the British royal family is one of endurance, adaptation, and the constant balancing act between tradition and change. In a shocking turn of events, King Charles III has stepped down from his role as the monarch of the British royal family. This unprecedented move has sent shockwaves through the United Kingdom and around the world. Camilla, Queen Consort, has reportedly been deeply affected by this development, with sources close to the palace describing her as being in tears. This decision marks a significant moment in British history, altering the future of the monarchy in ways that were previously unimaginable. The announcement came after a series of private meetings within the royal family, leading to the king's official abdication. The news of King Charles III stepping down as the monarch of the British royal family has reverberated across the globe, marking a historic moment in the centuries-old institution. This decision, which has taken many by surprise, was made following a series of private discussions within the royal family. The gravity of the situation is evident, as sources close to Buckingham Palace have revealed that Queen Consort Camilla has been deeply moved by the decision, with reports indicating that she has been brought to tears by the turn of events. King Charles' decision to abdicate has not only shaken the foundations of the monarchy, but has also left the public and royal watchers in a state of disbelief. After years of waiting in the wings as the heir apparent, Charles ascended to the throne, following the passing of Queen Elizabeth II. His reign, though short, has been marked by attempts to modernize the monarchy and address the changing dynamics of British society. However, his decision to step down comes as a significant departure from royal tradition, where abdications are rare and often carry considerable implications. In the days leading up to the announcement, there were whispers of tension and uncertainty within the royal household. Insiders have suggested that Charles faced mounting pressure, both from within the family and from external forces, to reconsider his role. The king's health, public opinion, and the future of the monarchy were reportedly central to these discussions. Despite the challenges, many believed that Charles would continue to fulfill his duties as monarch. However, the final decision to abdicate indicates the weight of the considerations he had to bear. Camilla, who has stood by Charles's side for decades, is said to have been particularly affected by the decision. As Queen Consort, she has faced her own share of public scrutiny and challenges. The prospect of Charles stepping down from the throne has added a personal dimension to the situation, amplifying the emotional toll it has taken on her. Those close to the couple have described Camilla as being visibly distressed, struggling to come to terms with the new reality of their lives. Her tears are a testament to the profound impact this decision has had on those within the royal circle. The implications of King Charles's abdication are vast and complex. For the royal family, it means a sudden shift in the line of succession, with Prince William now poised to take on the role of king sooner than anticipated. This change is likely to have far-reaching consequences for the monarchy, as William's vision for the future may differ significantly from that of his father. The British public, too, is grappling with the news as they come to terms with the idea of another transition in leadership so soon after the passing of Queen Elizabeth. Internationally, the decision has prompted reactions from world leaders and royal families across the globe. The British monarchy has long been a symbol of continuity and stability, and the abdication of a sitting monarch is a rare and significant event. Allies and observers alike are now closely watching the developments in the UK, seeking to understand the motivations behind Charles's decision and what it means for the future of one of the world's most well-known institutions. In the wake of the announcement, the media has been abuzz with speculation and analysis. Commentators are dissecting the potential reasons behind the king's abdication, from personal health concerns to the desire to pave the way for a younger generation of leadership. The role of public opinion cannot be ignored, as Charles's popularity has fluctuated over the years. Some have suggested that the king may have felt that stepping aside was in the best interest of the monarchy, allowing Prince William and his wife, Catherine, to take on more prominent roles. The abdication of King Charles III has thrown the royal family and the nation into a state of reflection and uncertainty. This decision, rooted in a complex mix of personal, familial, and public considerations, is unprecedented in the modern era. While the monarchy has weathered many storms, this particular event signifies a turning point that may redefine the future of the British royal institution. In the weeks leading up to the abdication, there were subtle signs that all was not well within the royal household. Close observers noted a shift in Charles's public demeanor. His appearances, once marked by a sense of duty and tradition, had become more subdued. Behind the palace walls, the weight of the crown seemed to be taking a toll on him. Although no official statements were made at the time, there were whispers of the king grappling with the demands of his role, compounded by concerns over his health and the increasingly complex political landscape in the UK. Reports have surfaced indicating that King Charles sought counsel from his closest advisors, including senior members of the royal family and trusted confidants. The discussions were said to be intense and fraught with emotion, as Charles weighed the responsibilities of his position against the realities of his personal circumstances. It is believed that he considered all possible outcomes, including the impact his decision would have on the monarchy, his family, and the nation. Ultimately, it seems that the king reached the conclusion that stepping down was the most responsible and dignified course of action. For Queen Consort Camilla, this period has been particularly challenging. Known for her resilience and quiet strength, she has always supported Charles through the ups and downs of public life. However, the prospect of him relinquishing the throne has reportedly shaken her deeply. Camilla's emotional response highlights the personal sacrifice.
She's gonna be murdered in a car, and nobody done nothing to protect her because they know they're planning to do what they have done to my son.
Princess Diana's life was not as perfect as it seemed. Behind the fancy dresses and big smiles, she was hiding a painful truth. Before she passed away, she shared shocking things about King Charles, things that many people never knew. She spoke about feeling trapped, lonely, and even scared. She revealed secrets about their marriage, their fights, and the things that happened behind closed doors. What she said was so disturbing that it left many wondering what was really going on inside the royal family. These were not just small problems. They were deep, dark truths that changed the way people saw the man who would one day be king. And once these secrets came out, nothing was ever the same again. Charles's alleged infidelity and emotional abuse. There was always someone else in Princess Diana's marriage. No matter how hard she tried, she could never shake the feeling that Camilla Parker Bowles was always there, lurking in the background. From the very start, Diana felt she was fighting a losing battle for Charles's love and attention. Diana once said something that broke millions of hearts around the world. She said, "There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded." That one sentence said it all. She wasn't just married to Charles, she was sharing him. And no woman should have to go through that kind of pain. Diana wasn't crazy. She wasn't imagining things. She knew Charles was having an affair with Camilla, even when everyone around her tried to tell her otherwise. But instead of Charles sitting down and reassuring his young wife, he made it worse. Whenever Diana brought it up, he would gaslight her. He would say things like, "You're paranoid," or "You're imagining it," making her question her own sanity. Can you imagine the man you love turning your deepest fears into a joke? That's exactly what happened to Diana. The emotional damage Charles caused her was massive. He didn't comfort her. He didn't protect her. He left her to deal with it all alone. Diana struggled with bulimia, an eating disorder that took over her life. She once shared that Charles made fun of her weight, pushing her deeper into the illness. Instead of helping, Charles turned away. He laughed at her, called her unstable, and labeled her as the problem in their marriage. Diana was drowning, and Charles stood by watching. He laughed off her pain, told others she was being dramatic, and treated her feelings like they didn't matter. That cold behavior broke Diana from the inside. It made her feel unloved, unwanted, and like a burden. For the world, they looked like the perfect royal couple. But behind closed doors, Diana was fighting a silent war. She was trying to save a marriage that Charles had given up on long ago. No matter what she did, it was never enough because, in the end, his heart belonged to someone else, Camilla. The Tampon Gate scandal and public humiliation. If Diana had any doubts about Charles's affair, those doubts were crushed when the Tampon Gate scandal hit the headlines in 1993. The private, intimate phone call between Charles and Camilla was leaked, and the world got to hear just how deep their relationship really was. The conversation was shocking, embarrassing, and humiliating, not just for Charles, but for Diana most of all. In the call, Charles joked about wanting to be reincarnated as Camilla's tampon, words so private and bizarre that even today, they make people uncomfortable. But imagine being Diana, hearing the man you're married to, the future King of England, talk like that to another woman. It wasn't just an affair. It was proof that everything Diana had feared was true. Charles loved Camilla, not her. And now, the whole world knew it. She couldn't hide anymore. She had to smile, wave, and pretend like it was all okay while every newspaper splashed that humiliation on the front page. For Diana, this wasn't just betrayal. It was public execution of her dignity. The royal family stayed silent, as always, leaving Diana to face the world alone. The scandal only made Diana stronger, though. It fueled her desire to speak out, to tell her side of the story. She knew if she stayed quiet, she'd be buried by the lies. The world's opinion of Charles took a huge hit. People couldn't believe the man who was supposed to be their future king could speak that way, act that way, and hurt Diana so deeply. But instead of breaking her, it pushed Diana to fight harder for her truth. Diana's dark predictions and fears before her death. The saddest part of Diana's story is that she knew deep down that her life was in danger. She said it more than once. She was scared that they would kill her. But who was they? The royal family? The press? The people who didn't want her speaking out? In private conversations, Diana shared her fears openly. She once said, "They're going to kill me in a car accident." Those words hit harder now, knowing how she died. It's chilling to think about. It was like she knew what was coming but felt powerless to stop it. There's also the Mishkan note, a letter written down by her lawyer after Diana told him about a plot she feared. She believed someone wanted to tamper with her car brakes or stage a crash. She thought she was being watched, followed, and set up. And the sad part is, nobody really listened. Diana wasn't just scared for herself. She was scared for her sons, William and Harry. She knew that the more she spoke out, the more dangerous it became for her. But still, she didn't stop. She refused to be silenced, even if it cost her everything. Her death left behind so many questions. Did she know too much? Was it really just an accident? Or did someone finally decide that Diana had said enough? Post-divorce explosions. After the divorce, Diana finally started speaking her truth, and the world listened. In 1995, she gave a now-famous interview to BBC Panorama with journalist Martin Bashir. That interview changed everything. Diana didn't hold back. She spoke about Charles's betrayal, about how she was left unprotected by the royal family, and about how lonely she felt. She admitted to her struggles with bulimia and depression, but more importantly, she made it clear that she was never the crazy one. She was the one surviving in an impossible situation. One of the most powerful moments was when Diana said she didn't think Charles was fit to be king. She feared that his actions, his cold heart, and his lack of empathy made him wrong for the role, and millions of people agreed with her. The interview caused an earthquake inside the royal family. Charles's reputation took a massive hit. People couldn't look at him the same way again. The once fairy-tale prince was now seen as a cheating, cold-hearted man who broke the heart of the world's princess. But for Diana, it was more than revenge. It was freedom. For the first time, she was telling her story, her way. And people finally saw the real Diana. Not the royal puppet, but the strong, brave woman fighting for her life. After the interview, Diana's life began to change. She started focusing on humanitarian work, traveling the world, and helping people. She was becoming her own person, no longer just the princess, but a global icon for compassion and courage. Final days, final words. In the last months of her life, Diana seemed different. She was finally breaking free from the royal chains. She found love again, this time with Dodi Fayed, the son of billionaire Mohammed Al Fayed. Their relationship raised many eyebrows, especially inside the royal circle. There were whispers that Diana and Dodi were planning something big. Some said she was thinking about moving to the United States, starting a new life far away from the royal family. There were even rumors that she wanted full custody of William and Harry. She didn't want her boys growing up in the same cold world that had destroyed her. Some reports claimed that Diana was planning to reveal more secrets, that she was ready to expose the royal family in a way no one had ever done before. What she knew, what she had seen. It could have shaken the monarchy to its core. But we'll never truly know what Diana was planning because she never got the chance to finish her story. On August 31st, 1997, her life was cut short in a car crash in Paris. And just like that, the world lost its princess. Even today, people wonder, what else did Diana know? What other secrets did she carry with her to the grave? Was her death really just an accident? Or was it something darker, something more planned? Princess Diana's words left the world shocked, and even today, they raise questions about what really happened behind the palace walls. Her truth changed history, but the full story may never be known. What do you think about the secrets she revealed? Let us know in the comments. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more eye-opening stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.